Start this.
Okay, we can start.
We will talk about the book, the advantages of being earnest by Oscar Wilde. The book is kind of it's a play. It was written in 1895, and like Oscar Wilde again. And it's something interesting that I really want to propose to talk right now is about the morality under the context of the play and the story there. Because as far as we know, the play was written under the Victorian society. So, right there, the morality.
I think that in those times, morality was kind of rules that
Yes.
people should follow and should not follow.
Yeah,
You need to be a correct person.
like a gentleman
Yes.
and lady.
Yes.
Yeah. In fact, if you choose to make sure of yours, you are moral. First, in that society, you have to be married. Married.
Most of the time.
Most of the time, you have to be married, because it's a part of morality of that time.
Yes, as kind of a rule to have a high social status there. Some people was getting married because they fall in love. Some others for convenience. Some others for convenience, and they even had a lover. And having a lover in that times, even actually, is not
It's unacceptable.
it's unacceptable.
It was unacceptable.
It's an immoral tendency.
Yes.
Talking about for the characters of the book, we can say, of course, morality that Jack has a imaginary brother called Earnest, and
There is part of something called double
double life.
I think.
Yes. And of course, Algernon with Montgomery, that he was an imaginary friend.
One of them wanted to. One of them created their imaginary brother or friend to raise their social status, right?
Yeah. Actually, Gwendolyn said that the name Earnest inspired
Absolutely
confidence. Yes.
Because she was so absolutely.
It was kind of an obsession.
She was crazy for that name, because she inspired,
Actually,
of course,
Cecily was so obsessed with Earnest that she wrote a story about romance because, as I said before, she was obsessed and she wanted to marry Earnest. So she wrote a diary where she wrote that a big story of love with a lot of details.
Yes, there is where you see a kind of a hypocrisy.
Yes.
Because if you see the meaning of earnest, in the book it says something honest and
Something.
true,
Yes.
something like that. And you see the character Ernest is fictitious. It's a
Yes.
creation from Jack.
Yes.
So it's not completely honest in some sense. And also about some morality issues. You see, you were talking about marriage.
Yep. I'll talk about in marriage. So, one of these women in the story wanted to marriage.
Gwendolyn?
Yeah, she wanted to marry one man in particular. I don't remember the name.
Ernest.
Yep.
Someone named Ernest.
Just because she. Forgot
It's
the-
because the name gives a social status.
Yes, she wanted a bigger social status. So, that's the only reason because why she wanted to be married. And that's something very common in Victorian society at that time.
I think that fact is the big rule of the moral would be?
You mean by having a high
Yes,
Study
in
social
those
studies?
times.
on
Yes,
those stories?
those times.
I see your point. Nice.
The Victorian society just wanted to be nice with other people by having a high social status. They want to be superb. You know what I mean?
And what would happen with people that doesn't have a big social status?
They
They
just
would be-
stay.
They just
You just stay like that.
Mm-hmm.
They
will
just.
be like your servant,
Mhm.
and
It was like live your own life. Don't try to be better than now.
You wouldn't improve. You never improve in that society.
Those are the words.
Mhm.
and what else?
I'm saying.
I'm thinking about it, so why? Because you told me that he was married.
Oh yes, even
He
even
was
the
a-
author of
He had
the
a
book
family.
is an
Immoral.
immoral person
Yes.
because he was married, but only he had a lover.
Yes, a man.
And
Yes.
Yes. That.
So he lived two,
That-
like a double life.
yes, he had a double life,
Yes.
a moral issue.
A moral issue at that time.
Yes,
Because
even in this time,
Maybe
it's a
even
moral
this
issue.
time-
Because
Not
if you're
that much.
married, you're not supposed to have a lover. Because nowadays you get married because you love the person.
I was
Yeah.
talking about homosexual marriage, not lovers.
And those times are bad issue.
Yes.
But now it's absolutely correct.
It's okay.
Correct. Yes.
Mhm.
But I think that Oscar Wilde, he wrote that book because he wanted to
To show something, to
show-
express
to express
what-
his
what he was
feelings
feeling.
in the book.
His
in the story.
discomfort.
Yes.
It was like to show.
What he
It's
was
not the
going
real
through.
face, but it's one of the. It is to show one of the versions of the society at that time. But everyone
Because in
was,
that time, if you were homosexual,
was
you were
like
sick. Yes, you had a punishment for that.
Mhm. And it's not a good punishment.
So maybe he was expressed that feeling in the book because
Yes.
he didn't talk about
What he was going through, and he wanted to express that through
yes,
the book.
his life.
Commonly,
his lover.
commonly the writers at that time just let their book speak.
Yes.
They all like to write their opinions in stories or their own biography at that time. Now we see terror books and all stuff.
so. What can we?
Agree on something?
Yeah.
We can agree that the Victorian society it's
Superficial.
it's a superficial society, and people express their discomfort in things that no other people can see easily, like books.
It's to show their opinions, but hiding themselves.
Mm-hmm.
I see your point. I'm a huge fan of that idea.
Of course.
Yes, yes, yes.
I agree with you.
You all agree?
Yes.
That's good. So,
That's your conclusion.
mhm. Victorian society is
It's superficial, yes.
Okay.